All right. I'm going to add to what I did a little video this morning on the way to go with my daughter. They're looking into apartments, and Lord have mercy, the amount of bullshit that they have to go through. I know it's standard now, but I've also never had to live in an apartment. I mean, I did when I was tiny baby. But yikes. I don't know, in my mind, I get it. I get people fuck people over all the time. Not that my children would ever do that. But sometimes you forget that the world isn't like that because we're not like that. You forget the world isn't like that. And yeah, it wasn't that long ago that I worked at Kroger and people would come in and try some pretty sketchy shit. But anyway, so went there, came back. I was doing fine, except my shit is hot. And so being the third day in a row that I've sat in 90-degree heat, and it's different because it's not outside sunshine heat. I'm sitting there. I'm gonna complain for a second. I sit on it's a step stool actually. Anyway, and so by the time you've sat there for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, your butt hurts. I try and get up and walk around every once in a while, but that's still killing time. I mean, I don't get paid for the time that I get up and walk around. So I try not to do it very often. And then I think I mentioned, there's that breeze. Finally we're getting a breeze. And I know it's from the outskirts of the hurricane in Texas, and we're finally getting some of the out breeze, but you can tell it's thinking about storming here. I'm pretty sure we won't get anything because for whatever reason where we live, it breaks up right as it goes over us. Praise the Lord. We don't get a lot of storms here, but we've had some. So I forgot to take a part to one of the things I was making, and it's 100% my fault. I grabbed the ones for the micro size. I did not grab the ones for the big size. So I got it all done except for that, and it won't take but, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes to put, I think there's 7 of them, to put it together. Once I get there tomorrow, grab those pieces, stick them in, and it's just one big seam that I have to go over. So not a huge deal, but things like that kind of get under my skin and piss me off. And then I'm very thankful that I got to go with my daughter today and got to help her. Both parties got to fill out a form, and then you have to have a $40 a person non-refundable application fee. And then what else? There's a couple other new things that we learned today. So plus it's $125 electric fee just to get the electric put in your name. So yikes, every time you go sign up for a new anyway. So then water is no longer covered. So then she also has to pay I think $50 water deposit. Then when they do this background check and everything and it comes back fine, then they require the apartment isn't available until mid-September, I think, which is fine. They're not getting married until mid-October, so it'll kind of work out really well. But then they have to, as soon as their background checks come back and they say, yeah, you can rent, then you have to give them a $500 check to hold the apartment for you. Then when you're all done and you're done with the apartment, however long it may be, you get $400 of that back. $100 is a non-refundable cleaning deposit. If you decide after 48 hours that you no longer want the place, you found some other place that'll rent you sooner or whatever, then you forfeit all $500. And then on the day you move in, first month's rent is due that day as well, which is almost $1,000. and it makes me cringe. I've never paid that much in a house payment. I am paying that much for land right now, but I'm also getting almost 30 acres. So, that, anyway, the point of that is my brain wars with, go help your daughter and love it. And I did. I truly do love it. I'm so thankful that I get to stay home. I've got to stay home most of my mother career, and haven't had to go outside of the house to work a lot. And I'm super thankful for that. On the flip side, it was like an hour that I didn't get to work, and that also hurts my brain because I work. See if you can see my humans in the background. My other 3 that are participating in 75 Hard with me, they're going rucking. Anyway, the 3rd child is rucking, everybody else is just walking. But they do try and make a fairly fast pace. I do not, only because I tried to baby my knee a little bit. After I put the camera down, I'll walk maybe a little bit faster, but there's that. What else? We learned in the state of Tennessee, in the great county of Marshall that I'm in, a marriage license. First of all, in the state of Tennessee, they're only valid for 30 days. So you can't get them, we can't get it now for October, which I find weird. You have to, it's got an expiration date. Got to use it within 30 days. But it's going to cost $105 for a marriage license if you do not take premarital counseling. If you take premarital counseling, it only costs like $45. And since I actually am ordained, I can do that for them, I believe. She's like, but it's a 6-hour class. Anyway, Googling on the way home, it also looks like for, I don't know, $20 or $30 you can do, it must be an online course that they can do too. Just another weird quirk in our state, and it has some weird quirks. There's that. Oh my goodness. So sorry, I don't know if you can see the strip right here. The sun is breaking through, hitting all the pretties. Look, it's like not gloomy all the time. Anyway, just with the heat in there today, and I got in there a little bit later than I wanted to, just because I'm not the only one that occupies the shed. So I try and make sure that I don't wake anybody up too early. I'm a little irritated I didn't quite get as many hours in today as I wanted to. I did not get quite 8 hours, but I would still be over there working, except for the small fact that I have a question, and I could text her, and she would definitely respond, but I'm just kind of ticked off. I think it's the heat, being in the heat and kind of just like sitting and being like tacky sweaty all day is just killing me. And it just got my irritations up. It keeps sounding like somebody's behind me. And so I did one, and it didn't meet. You have to close them in a circle, and it didn't quite meet where it was supposed to, and I had to take a little bit out. And I started, and then I had a fly that was bothering my legs, and I'm like, I am so done right now. So I mean, I could go for a walk and take a shower and then go back over there, and work for a little bit longer. But I think I'm gonna bow out of that. I thought I saw a deer jumping. I'm just probably gonna not to. And then I can ask her tomorrow where the extra, because a lot of times we try and, like when you put a bag together or something, you try and get the extra, if one side's bigger or smaller than the other one, you just kind of even it out throughout the whole seam. And in looking at these, it almost looks like that they're putting extra in the corner. So I want to make sure if you're putting extra in the corners on purpose, or if we just didn't know where else to put it, or if the one piece is longer than it should be and I should cut about a half an inch off of that and then do them. But I don't know, you can't just do something like that unless you understand the purpose of the object you're making. Because if I cut the end off and I make it nice and not tight, but no gather, no bag, that's going to be, obviously it will hold a little bit more if there's almost like a gusset in the corners. So I put it in the box. I have a lot of stuff ready, so I am pleased. There's a couple things, and I didn't grab, I was missing a couple labels. And so that again will only just take a couple minutes tomorrow to find what I have. I think I need 3. I felt the raindrop. I think I need 3 more labels, so then I can get that one put together, and that'll be a whole nother batch of stuff too. So I'm all for it, actually. It really does need to just give us a little bit of, it's so dry here, and cracks all over in the ground, like that dry. But it's weird. It's politics everywhere just have gotten ridiculous. But in our town, we go online and there's our county, Marshall County page, Marshall County politics. And so I'm thinking, sure, we'll go and kind of learn, what everybody's all about. Of course, it's not run by a neutral party. And when you say something they don't like, or when you question something that they don't, and I'm trying to learn, like I didn't understand. One of the guys has come up with the, hey, we should have a splash pad. And I was like, yeah, we're already in a water shortage in this county. Like, we cannot build any more houses because of a water shortage. They're actually at, several of the families are at a meeting tonight about, I'm trying to think which one is it. I'm not sure if they're both. They made a ruling that, maybe it's just the Globe Road one. They made a ruling over on that road that they were not going to let them change the classification. That's not right word. Change the whatever it's categorized by. It'll come to me in a second. It can be like farmland, ag land, residential. Well, they want to change it to make it to be high density residential so they can pack all the houses in as tight as possible. Nobody wants that. Except the politicians, I guess, and these mysterious constituents that have never been seen and have only talked to this specific guy. Weird. And the builder, and the landowner, they all want that. Nobody else does. But we're in the minority. It's weird. And so they have already ruled they were not going to change it. Something to the effect of, the lawyer suggested that they redo it again, but when they do it this time, to make a specific statement about why, because they didn't say why the first time, and if they don't give a reason to why, then they're gonna they leave themselves open for liability to be able to say, well, hey, they just didn't do it because they didn't like us or something. So they need to say why. But the point is, we can't get any more hookups in this county at all for any reason. We're out of water. We're not allowed to pull any more out of the river that we pull from. So I think that's what's kind of saving us right now. The stuff up in front isn't going to get built for a little bit because they physically can't. So there's people there going, and anyway, this one specific politician decided that he thought we should spend money on a splash pad, which I kind of think are a little bit pointless to begin with. Just hot feet, and I mean, I get that it's a water thing. I would much rather swim in a pool. I would much rather have my kids be in a pool. I'm thinking of this little tiny thing that, it's going to be overcrowded all the time, which maybe it's not. My kids are big enough, they won't go anyway, so it doesn't really affect me so much. Oh, can we see it? Look at the rain. Love it. I'm gonna work on this side. I'm not really getting very wet, thankfully, but my boys, they're gonna be wet. And I just asked on there, I said, well, wouldn't it, and I don't exactly know in this weird place that I live in now, I don't know who pays for what exactly, and you know, what is responsibility falls to what non-public, and I don't know, public entity, community entity, I don't know who pays for what. So I just said on there, I said, you know, doesn't city help the rec center? And the rec center has been, they've had a broken pool or a broken yikes, either the pool or the hot tub or something has been broken for a long time. I'm gonna get wet. And I don't know that either of them are currently broken, but I mean, there's always a heater broken, or the aerator doesn't work, or I mean, there's always something with that stupid thing. We asked one time if I think we asked if they helped out with like foster families or anything like that. They don't do anything. I mean, anyway, they could definitely use some more money is what I'm saying. And so what do they do? What do they do instead is he wants to do a splash pad. Okay. I just asked questions. I was just like, well, hey, what about this? You know, why are we doing this? Like, can we not put money towards, what do they do? There's a, yikes, there's a place at the park in town, which it's called the park, but there's really no park stuff there. And they asked, they put in a new play equipment. Great. It's a cute little play set. It's great for little kids. Well, they didn't feel the need when they put it in to put any shit. They didn't feel the need to put any let me go back this way. And I'm gonna take off my shoes so I don't slip. Shade. So now this park, and the park equipment gets so freaking hot, your little kids can't even use it. Don't we think that we could, you know, put up some shade, plant some trees? It probably cost you $500, maybe. And you want to build an entire splash pad. At the, where's it at? At the rec center outside, they have like wooden play equipment or wood around some of the play equipment, like some railroad ties and stuff like that. They're broken. They have jagged edges. We went and played at one that the city has to do for like the low-income housing. There's like a park in the middle of there. There's so many hazards when we were there with our kids. That's not even funny. And so all we suggested, a couple of us, are like, can we not put a little bit of money into the stuff, you know, fixing up the stuff that we already have, instead of adding whole new systems to the system? So he ended up deleting all of our comments and blocking everyone that didn't basically say, this is a great idea. He blocked everyone. So when I asked somebody else, I went onto this politics page, and I just said, hey, you know, I put a post asking questions about this, and I was just trying to get more information. And the guy who runs the page, he's like, yeah, I denied your post. He's like, I denied your post because we don't need that kind of drama here. And I'm like, dude, I'm a citizen of this county asking questions about somebody who wants me to vote for them. And I was just like, why? It's just sketchy as shit to me that some guy who, yikes, who wants to have people vote for him is acting like this and just deleting comments and that sort of thing. And he's like, oh, I saw all the drama on there, and everybody was rude and ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, no, but they weren't. Not one person said anything rude or awful towards him or anything like that. We literally just asked, you know, why we're doing this and what this is all about. Well, this one politician, all he can say is, like, he has this chart and he's like, when I took office, it went from negative in the bank account to positive. And he's like, and now we're, what did he just say, $9 million in the positive? And we're like, well, that doesn't include all the debts that you owe as the city, not as him, as the city. I said, that doesn't include all the debts and everything. Anyway, no, this other guy, he's like, yeah, I saw that posting. And we just don't want that drama here. And I said, is it not weird that a politician is silencing people who are asking questions about topics that he brings up? And he's like, no, he's doing it because our Facebook pages will get shut down if somebody will report it if there's rude stuff on there, and our Facebook pages will get shut down. And so that's why we don't allow negativity in this space. And I'm like, oh Lordy. And you call yourself they think that they're conservative. Well, I think they've said anti-Joe words on there several times. So just about enough to drive a person crazy. Who knows? I don't know. We're still debating. We have another couple weeks because we have, the well coming to this place. We haven't found another place. So, and by the way, we got this place. I really truly think it was a gift from the Lord. So we're supposed to be here. I'm guessing, like I said, if we're supposed to be somewhere else, God would have given us somewhere else. And so I'm all wet now. So no shower needed tonight. Check. This says you can't multitask. Just another day. At least I've kind of cooled my temper. I was talking to you guys earlier, and I got in my daughter's car when we were going, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's so weird to see you talking into your phone like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, you're like an influencer. And I said, no, I'm not. That's not my point. And so my oldest told me, he's like, oh yeah, you are. Google it. And I looked, and it was like just anybody who posts on social media. And I went, that's weird. Okay, I guess I am. I was cool and I didn't even know it. It happens a lot with me. It really does. Tomorrow will be a better day, except that I have to wake up with the butt crack is stupid so that I can make it to work hopefully before 9 this week and get my workout in before I go. I gotta show you this. This brings me so much joy. Being just a little kid. Can you see it? Being just a little kid here. Loving it.